Welcome back to the Make or Break Society. In this one, we're going to do a full clean and reassembly, or I guess disassembly, cleaning, and reassembly of a Game Boy Advanced SP. This is one I just picked up. This one will likely get a reshell sometime in the future, but for now, it's kind of nasty. So it's got like sticky stuff here on the bottom, and on the inside here on the hinge, it's got like oil or something that's resting there. Plus there's crap all around the screen that needs to be cleaned up. For the most part, this thing works really well. Buttons work nicely. And the shoulders work properly. So, let's get into it. Alright, to do a full clean on this thing, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a screwdriver. You're going to need one that has a Y1, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yes, a Y1 bit, as well as a Phillips second. Phillips 0, I believe. Yes, Phillips 0. You need a Y and a Phillips. Phillips is for all the board screws as well as to take the battery off. And then the Y is for everything else on the outside. You're also going to need either a dental pick or tweezers. I'm using my fix-it ones. And you need these to get all of these pieces out. And there's screws underneath all of them. You're going to need a toothbrush for scrubbing. You're going to need ISO for cleaning up the board, and in my case getting that sticky crap off, and a bucket to put all the parts in. And then I'm also going to be using my parts tray, or my Gridfinity Parts Tray, to hold all my screws and everything like that. You can find download files to this one on printables, so I'll leave those in the link in the description. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to start by taking off the screws at the bottom here. got those screws out. You can see there are 6 screws on the bottom. One of them's underneath the battery compartment, and then 3 that hold down the board. Just take out all your membranes and toss them in the bin. You can take this metal bracket off, but I generally don't bother. If I really need to, I'll take it off after I'm done washing, just to make sure there's no water stuck in there. Actually, now that we've set it, let's take it off now. Now let's move on to the top screen. This is where we're going to use these. Try and get inside on the side of them without stabbing them. The next thing we do, now that we've got this free, that I actually had forgotten to do, is underneath this cable, right here, there's a screw. We have to take that screw out, so we can get the hinge cover off, so we can take the display out properly. And we just sort of tuck this guy in. Be careful with this ribbon cable. Tuck that in. And actually get it to come up the other side. Now, because this hinge is quite good, I'm not going to bother taking the hinge screws out. However, if you needed to take the hinge pieces out, there's a screw. Well, sort of a screw. Right in there. And twist them out. By far and away the hardest part of this whole thing is to take these hinge screws out. So because I don't have to, I'm not going to. And that goes in there. And we'll just clean this one up with microfiber cloth, maybe a little bit of soap and water. And we're good. So the next thing I'm going to do, we're going to fill this up with water and let it soak for a little bit. And while all that stuff is soaking, let's get to cleaning the other parts with ISO. Now this part isn't strictly necessary, but I like to take a little bit of compressed air and basically blow off any extra ISO that's just kind of chilling on it. It also helps dry it off quite a bit faster. Now there was a little bit of grease on this battery. Same deal. This I don't want to put like lots of ISO on. I do want to make sure it breaks down and comes off. I'm going to do a little bit of a rub just where the grease was. And I'm going to grab my microfiber cloth and clean it off. You can clean the contacts up on the speaker, just these guys here, to make sure they have nice clean contact. I'm not going to touch anything on this side. There is adhesive that keeps that cone on, and this will just eat it away. So that's good enough for that. Now let's move on to cleaning the shell. So at this point, I'm just taking every piece out and scrubbing it. We'll see if that sticky stuff comes off on this one. And if it doesn't, then we're going to hit it with ISO. All we're doing is go through, scrub every piece and put it right back in. Alright, so with this one, I can see it and I can feel it. That sticky stuff did not come off. So what I'm going to do is we're going to dab this dry. Take some riso. And you just want to get a little bit of it on there and let it sit for a second. Now that's about as best as I can get it right now. The nice thing is, because it's on the outside, I can hit it with something a little bit stronger at a different time. I don't have anything a little bit stronger here, but either acetone, which I really don't want to use because that can take the sticker off too. Actually, that can strip the words right off the sticker. Or Goo Gone, which again can strip the words right off of it. But if you're quick and you're careful, you should be okay. So I will tackle that. At least it doesn't look like crap anymore. Alright. So now we're going to take this to the sink and very carefully drain this out and fill it up with clean water so we can rinse all the parts off, and I'll be back with clean water. Yeah. So now that we're sitting in nice clean water, we just pull the parts out onto paper towel and let them dry. Yeah, and you can either just let them sit here and dry for the night, or you can hand dry them off like I'm going to. I'm not going to bother recording that because it's literally just watching water dry. Alright, now with cleaning and drying complete, it's time to do reassembly. With one exception, we still need to clean our display. But quite literally, take a microfiber cloth and wipe it off. If you need to, you can wet it if there's stuff stuck to it. But for the most part, you can get pretty much everything off with microfiber cloth, and that's it. You can see it's got pits and scratches all over the glass. So let's start on reassembly. I'm going to start by putting by reassembling the top first, just so it's done and out of the way. Next, I'm going to put all of our buttons and everything into the top piece, as well as I think the light pipe goes in this side. Yes, the light pipe goes in this side. Basically, I'm going to put all the stuff that goes into this piece, and then I'm just going to set it aside while we put the board and everything into the bottom piece. Yeah, same deal here. We're going to populate this side. I guess I forgot to put the speaker. Oh. More importantly, I forgot to put the filter. And then the speaker. Yeah. Now, like I said, basically everything that's left here goes in this side. Sorry about that, I got that wrong. Does not go into this side. Doesn't go into there, goes into here. First, we connect our display. Alright, so it's at this point that you're going to want to test. You don't want to just screw everything together. You want to test and make sure that everything's hooked up correctly. We're at the point where we can put everything back together. So let's do that last step. Also polish. And we're all set. Alright, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, remember, it doesn't matter if you make or break, as long as you're having fun.